All right, guys, I told you I was going to do this last night, and I didn't because I was tired. So today we're going to do open up my Mantie, show you guys what I bring on a trip like this. So first of all, we'll just unmanty this. And because I can't put something away half finished, I'm going to put up my Mantie ropes. I made a video on how to do this if you want to check it out. Keeps them nice and organized, not falling all over the place. All right, so normally I have a highline kit and some hobbles, which I had in the other Mantie that we just undid. Horses are here off to my right, hobbled and grazing. So this is less of those items, we'll just call it. So always bring an extra Nalgene bottle for filling up water out of the creek behind me. Camp slippers. I use a set of Hey Dudes. People use Crocs, personal preference. And this is my camp chair. Really important to have a camp chair in my opinion when you're in camp. Take the load off your feet, put your slippers on, sit in your camp chair, pretty nice way to relax. So this thing is like 2.5 pounds. I cheated a little bit and got the high back version, but the low ones are even lighter weight yet. And this is my cot. This is a little lightweight backpacking cot. If you want to check out the video I made on my sleep system, I talk about this cot and you can see it all set up. Then I use one of these Taku 5500 bags by Kuyu. I looked on their website, they don't seem to offer them right now, so I don't know if that's a short-term deal or if that's more permanent, but I like it because it's pretty much waterproof. I wouldn't say water submersible, but the fabric itself is waterproof. And it's just a really nice form factor for packing. So I can load this thing up pretty much as I can get in it, and I'm always right around 50 pounds, 45 to 50 pounds, depending on which sleeping bag I bring. So that's a really nice set. Threw a couple more items in there. This Mantie with the ropes, everything all in, I think was just shy of 60 pounds. The other thing I do is I like to use Manties to sleep on. So this is my bedroll basically, or my bed will go right on top of this Mantie here in camp. So it's a bit of a free-for-all in here, but I'll try to keep it as organized the best I can because we kind of threw camp together this morning when we headed out. I have a couple clothes that this is with a sweatshirt I was wearing this morning, which is why it was on top. This is just a lightweight soft shell jacket for in the evening when it gets cold. Since we're scouting this mission a little bit, I did bring my spotting scope and tripod. So I have my tripod there and my spotting scope's down in here. The rest of which is food. So I try to pack my food in gallon Ziploc bags. If I'm doing really good, I eat my whole bag every day. I'll be honest, it doesn't happen very often. Again, to get focused, and I don't always eat the best when I'm in the mountains, but that's kind of my goal. So I have a bag for every day that I'm in here. Next thing I have food-wise is these dehydrated meals. I just have an assortment of them in here. That's what I do for breakfast. Breakfast and dinner. So biscuits and gravy, and then my dinner items off to the side. So we'll get rid of those. That's my snack bag from yesterday. And that's actually my garbage, so we'll skip that piece. Next up, talking about the food system, is my water filter. I just use a pump water filter. I think it's really important to always have a backup water filter. I've just taken one before in the mountains and I've had an issue with it and been kind of in a bit of a pickle. So it's really nice, like I'm here with Brent and he's got a water filter, so he's got a backup, and then just because I never go home without two these days, I use a backup one. My second one's a platypus. It's the gravity bag. I can hang it from a tree. It also gives me an extra 4 liters of water storage bags if I need it. So that's my backup water filter. And then actually in my first aid kit, I bring water purification tablets just in my first aid kit. So I do pack a little first aid kit. I'm not going to go over the contents of this. I made a whole video of what's in my first aid kit, both for my horses and for myself, where you can see what's in here. And then since I didn't bring my full-on horse first aid kit on this round, there's a tube of Banamine in here for them. I bring ointment in case they get sores or salves, and then a roll of Coband. And that's kind of what I bring for the horses. And then it should be right here. I didn't mention this in my my first aid kit video, but I should have. I just forgot about it. But I usually always bring this. This is a SAM splint. I broke my ankle a couple years ago in the backcountry here and had to ride out, and I didn't have one of these. And so since then, kind of learning. I'll just wrap it with that Coban, put the SAM splint on if I get hurt or somebody in my camp gets hurt. So that's kind of my first aid stuff. Let's see. Kind of literally the bare necessities. Roll of toilet paper. Everything I do goes in a Ziploc bag. Like when I'm packing, even if I buy a box of Cheez-Its or something like that, I pull them out of the box, put it in a Ziploc bag. Everything goes into Ziploc bags. They takes up way less space and it keeps it dry and kind of waterproof. My little toiletry kit. Oftentimes that's in with my clothes, and then for finish off the cooking system, I use one of these jet boils and an extra fuel canister. I just got in the habit of always bringing two, so there's a little one that lives inside here, and then this is the one I mainly use in camp to do my cooking. And pretty much between the dehydrated meals and the jet boil, that's all my dinners, and then I just bring a little cup that kind of goes everywhere with me. I've had this for years, a little insulated cup that I drink tea and stuff in the morning with. And then two little baggies for my drinks. So this is, I don't drink coffee, I drink tea. This is my baggie for that, lives with my cup. And then this is basically electrolyte mix, like Gatorade powder if you think about it like that. I use Wilderness Athlete, but there's lots of them out there. That's really nice to have if you've been working hard and sweating all day. So you might have noticed I packed a little electric chainsaw this trip to clear trail. I do have an extra battery for that. Haven't had to use it. In fact, we've had to clear one log out of the trail this entire trip. It's been pretty phenomenal. Somebody was in here ahead of us clearing trail. And then getting down to the nitty gritty here, I just have a roll of black garbage bags, very universal. Try to pick up our trash, and you can use them for all sorts of things. Then I'm getting into my sleep system. So in addition to the cot, this is my sleeping pad, my sleeping bag, use a little down bag, and my camp pillow. So again, I made a whole video on my camp sleep system. If you guys want to check that out, welcome to go do so. This particular trip, since Brett and I are doing some hiking around and scouting, I brought a backpack. Don't always do that, but well, I should say I usually bring a backpack. Sometimes I wear it, but backpack's in here at this point. I have my spotting scope in here. I have everything I need for a day pack. Lives in here. I have a puffy jacket that lives in this thing. Headlamps, you name it, full on day pack, right? Ready to go. This is just a real lightweight rain jacket. Even in the summertime, hard to go somewhere without a rain jacket. It'll get you out of a pinch. And this is this little bag here. I could spend probably a whole video on just what's in this little bag, but this is I'd say a lot of little odds and ends. So I didn't put it back in here this morning when I was packing, but normally I bring this power bank to charge my phone. Lives in that little red bag normally. And then I have this little adapter cord that has all your different plugins, so I can charge my inReach, I can charge my phone, I can charge my headlamps. You name it, I can charge it with this little guy. And this is, I think, a 2600 or 2800, I don't know the size, and it'll easily last 4 days, right? If I'm going on like a week-long trip, I usually go up to the next size. I think it's like a 36,000 milliamp. I don't quote me on the numbers. The bigger one for longer trips, but this is plenty for 4 days. So that lives in here. I also bring extra headlamps, extra batteries, I bring chapstick, I bring like gear aid tape. Like I said, I can make a whole video on what's in this bag. It's a bunch of small miscellaneous pieces, but stuff that I've found over the years. You don't use very often, but when you need them, they really come in handy. Then I think literally the last thing in the bag here is just these little packs of wet wipes. So it's hard to clean up. You know, we're not showering for 4 days. My hands are kind of filthy. It's really nice to have a little package of wet wipes with you. Just don't throw them out and leave them because they don't decompose very fast. Pack them out with the rest of your garbage. So anyway, kind of messy, but that's my gear dump. Hope you got something out of it.